demand and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Coming up, another round of severe weather is causing headaches for travelers across the country as the long holiday weekend winds down.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening and happy Independence Day. I'm Steve Hensley. Many Americans spent the country's 247th birthday dealing with heat and heavy rain. And more travel issues could be on the way as folks head home after the long holiday weekend. CBS's Astrid Martinez reports from New York.
On Coney Island, torrential rain and a dangerous lightning strike delayed Nathan's famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest. Storms brought flights to a temporary halt at major hub airports in New York and Denver. The TSA expects busy airports this week, but down from last week's record highs.
Today doesn't seem as busy as I thought it would be, being 4th of July.
In Boston, heavy rain brought overnight flooding that forced commuter rail service to be halted in parts of the city. Intense storms caused low visibility, slowing down travel on parts of I-85 between Atlanta and Montgomery, Alabama. Meanwhile, millions of Americans spent the day trying to beat the heat. In the nation's capital, Independence Day parade goers endured temperatures that broke 90 degrees, while some strolling the National Mall took the heat in stride.
It's hotter where we're from. We're from the Colorado River in California, and it was 117 there yesterday.
We're visiting from Ireland. It's very humid, very hot. Yeah. So we end up kind of going along by the trees and stopping and having a little rest.
Back in Brooklyn, skies cleared long enough for reigning champion Joey Chestnut to scarf down 62 hot dogs, including the buns, keeping his title for at least another year. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
We'll have more on that hot dog eating contest a little later in the newscast. AAA expects more than 43 million people to drive during the holiday week. Gas prices are about 4 cents cheaper nationally than just a week ago and nearly $1.30 less a gallon on average than the 4th of July last year.
A few downpours around here today, but so far, there's only an hour left in the day. It was actually pretty nice 4th of July all throughout the mountains. You can see that from our camera here in Hazard on top WYMT studios. We've been watching a few folks after the official Hazard fireworks show ended, maybe continuing their own shows. We haven't seen any in a little bit. Temperatures out there right now, right about 70. That's smoke hanging over the city. Smoke hanging over a lot of the valleys tonight with the fireworks smoke out there. Low to mid 70s still. It is a mild and muggy night out there. We had a few showers, tried to scoot into portions McCreary County and Whitley County, Campbell County, Tennessee, but we kept it at bay and dry for much of the region. There was actually an area we saw some showers earlier. So your forecast first as you head out on that Wednesday morning. Not too bad. It is going to be mild and muggy, upper 60s to near 70. Steve, I'll have the very latest on when we could see a return to some showers and storms in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. We now know the funeral arrangements for an Eastern Kentucky state trooper. Sergeant Jared Boggs died Monday at St. Joseph's Hospital in Lexington after a brief illness. He graduated from the State Police Academy in 2005 and spent his entire 18-year career with Post 10 in Harlan. He was only 39 years old. His visitation will be Saturday at 1 until the funeral at 3 p.m. at the Harlan Independent High School gym. In lieu of flowers, the family has requested donations be made to Harlan Little League or Harlan Independent Schools. Kentucky State Police need telecommunicators. Salaries for that start at more than $41,000 annually, plus a $3,100 training stipend. State Police say Governor Beshear raised salaries for telecommunicators by more than $8,000 recently and gave KSP the ability to give that stipend. KSP says it has increased its number of troopers by 22% since the end of 2021. The city of Pikeville hosted its annual Independence Day celebration today, inviting folks downtown for fun, food, and fireworks. With music on Main Street and booths and food vendors scattered around town, organizers say the event had a little something for everyone. People filled the streets and park throughout the day, leading up to the fire department's fireworks display.
So that's all thanks to our great mayor, Jimmy Carter, and of course, our Pikeville Fire Department, who are the guys who are really putting it on the line, getting these out there and making them as beautiful as they always are.
The event even brought a magician to the stage for the first time this year. Robert says it was a way to give more kid-centered entertainment to the community. The city of Hazard celebrated the 4th in several different ways. There was a fish fry, hot dog eating contest, and a community concert tonight. A parade also featured fire trucks, police cars, and an appearance by Mayor Happy Montbellini. But the star of that show was the kids. And following the parade was a freedom float down the North Fork of the Kentucky River. A fireworks display wrapped up tonight's festivities, and we will show you some of that a little later in the newscast. The city of Harlan hosted its 6th annual 4th Fest in honor of Independence Day. Thousands of people came out to participate in the festivities. Harlan Tourist and Convention Commission Executive Director Brandon Pennington says if you live nearby or far away, it's always a good time to visit the city of Harlan.
Whether you're a local or whether you're a visitor, it's a great opportunity to come down and experience Harlan. You know, we do have a lot of locals that do come out for the event, but we also have a ton of visitors who come in for the 4th of July. And it's just a great way to connect them to our community. And, you know, for them to come down, experience our downtown, and see our beautiful mountains, and then also have a good time at the festival.
There was a parade, several musical guests, and the festival ended with a fireworks show tonight. Pennington says this is just the 6th year hosting the festival, and they hope it will continue to grow. Many Kentuckians chose to spend their holiday on the water today. Lee's Ford Marina on Lake Cumberland was booming with business. The general manager of the marina says all hands were on deck to accommodate the large amount of lake goers, and it was a great lake day. Berea is getting ready for its annual craft festival. More than 110 artists will come together in Madison County for the 42nd year of that event. Participants are traveling from 15 states. From paintings to pottery, organizers say there will be something for everyone.
We're really fortunate to have a wide variety. So we still see a lot of the traditional art, the basket weaving, the fabric dyeing, the blacksmithing, things like that. But then you have all of these new great artists that are sort of coming out of the woodwork, bringing things that we've never seen before.
The festival runs Friday through Sunday at the historic Indian Fort Theater. Kentucky's county governments are being encouraged to apply for grants to help pay for spaying and neutering dogs and cats. The Department of Agriculture is handing out $1,500 grants to local county governments on a competitive basis. The counties can partner with nonprofit organizations. That grant application deadline is July 15th. Republican candidate for governor, Attorney General Daniel Cameron, was in the Independence Day parade in Campbellsville today. On Twitter, Cameron said as governor, he would designate the entire month of July as American Pride Month to celebrate the founding fathers and freedom. Cameron also used the nation's birthday to take a dig at Democratic Governor Andy Beshear, saying, quote, America is fundamentally a force for good in the world, despite what Andy Beshear and his supporters say. Governor Beshear was quieter on social media this holiday, tweeting a picture of his family and urging Kentuckians to honor service members. Republican presidential hopefuls were courting some first-in-the-nation primary voters on this Independence Day. Among them, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in New Hampshire and former Vice President Mike Pence in Iowa. Meanwhile, President Biden hosted active-duty military families and other events leading up to the annual fireworks display tonight in the nation's capital. Former President Donald Trump had no campaign plans this holiday, saying he was spending it with his family. There were unfortunately several mass killings across the country leading up to the 4th of July holiday. Police in Philadelphia say a deadly shooting spree Monday night could have been even worse had officers not been able to corner the alleged gunman in an alley. Law enforcement officials say a 40-year-old man wearing a bulletproof vest and armed with an AR-style rifle went on a rampage across 4 city blocks. 4 people died, and police believe a 5th man found dead in his home is also a victim in this shooting. Gunfire also rang out overnight in Fort Worth, Texas, killing 3 people. Police say shots were fired into a crowd of hundreds of people just hours after the end of a local festival. The country has seen more than 24 mass killings so far this year. 2 men are accused of scamming people attending last weekend's Taylor Swift concert in Cincinnati. Benj Sweet of Covington and Gilberto Torres from Florida are now facing theft charges. Cincinnati police say the 2 used fake vendor badges to sell fake tickets to the concert for $1,000 each. At least 1 person fell for the scam. Swift played 2 shows over 2 days with 130,000 people in attendance total. And a bunch from Eastern Kentucky. I've seen the pictures. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a closer look at the history of our American flag on this Independence Day.
And checking out the potential for more showers and storms returning. Details after this.
If you want a vehicle that will help you go more, see more, and